Good morning, guys. It's Luke here. Welcome back. Happy Monday. I hope you've all had a great weekend. I've got three really interesting topics to chat with you about today. The first is some final specs on the OnePlus 12, which is only a few days away now. But there's a couple of specs that I was not expecting, and they look really, really impressive. There's some updates to the Google Messages app. Many of them which look really cool, and there's also an update to the Xbox app. So if you use the Xbox app for streaming, for gaming with friends, there's a really great update for that. I want to talk to you about that. And then I just want to mention some movie trailers that I've just watched over the weekend. Obviously this channel's not about movies or anything like that, but there's a couple of really good ones I think you should go and watch if you're a bit of a sci-fi buff. So let's jump in, guys, and we'll chat about the final specs and leaks and rumors about the OnePlus 12 just before it gets officially released. All right, guys, this morning I was having a look at a post on GSM Arena, and they've got the OnePlus 12, and you can see it from every angle, and it looks like a really nice looking device. It's quite large. It's got a 6.82-inch display, and yeah, it's a pretty big phone. But the thing that got me, and this hasn't been leaked previously, is this phone is coming with an 8T LTPO OLED display. It does 1 to 120 hertz refresh rate, and get this, it has a 4500 nit peak brightness. What the hell? That's crazy. So just for reference, prior to this, the highest peak brightness on any phone was 2800, and I think that was on the OnePlus Open actually. And then prior to that, it was the Google Pixel 8 Pro, which had 2400. And then prior to that, we sort of had about 1700 to 2000 on some Samsung devices. So the fact that we're getting 4500 nits of peak brightness is unbelievably bright. Like even a phone that does 1700 nits, like the Galaxy S23 Ultra, is super bright. So, man, this thing is just going to, I don't know, it's going to be that bright that it's probably going to blind you in the right light. So anyway, obviously it has auto dimming and stuff like that, but I just thought that that was really interesting that it's going to be so bright. I just don't see any real use case of a display being that bright. And aside from that, the other updates we get is a 50 megapixel cam, 48 megapixel ultra wide, 64 megapixel 3x telephoto, and then the selfie cam is 32 megapixel, and the battery on board is 5400 milliamp. I think that this thing is going to be a battery monster. Like, with that Snapdragon Gen 3 and that huge battery, this thing is just going to be so good. I think it'll definitely destroy anybody else's battery tests. Like, if you look at, say, like the S23 Ultra, even iPhone 15 Plus and iPhone 15 Pro Max, I think this thing is going to destroy them just because it's got such an efficient chip and an even bigger battery than before. So just thought that was an interesting little update. Again, these aren't the official specs. This is just what we think we know at this stage. We won't know until the device is actually officially released in a couple of days. So it's actually tomorrow. It's the 5th of December that it gets announced in China. And then we'll have all the specs available for that. So yeah, just an interesting little update there. Anyway, guys, let's move on. I want to talk to you quickly about Google Messages because there's been some really awesome updates to that. And I think for a lot of people that are currently iPhone users, there's definitely some strong reasons to consider moving across to Android. So let's jump in. So guys, pretty big milestone for Google RCS or Google Messages. As of a couple of days ago, they now have 1 billion monthly active users, which is pretty wild when you think about it. And to celebrate it, Google has announced that they are bringing some really nice updates to the app. We've got 7 new features, and a lot of them are just kind of like the way you interact with the messages that you send. Without sounding like an Apple fanboy, a lot of them do kind of feel a bit like iOS and iMessages. But hey, they're still really cool. I still really like it. There's a short video. It's called Text It Like You Talk It. And it just kind of shows how you can interject more of your personality into the way that you interact and send these messages. So the 7 updates, I'm going to read them out to you because they are all slightly different, but they're all quite unique in the way they work. So the first one is photo emoji, and basically it lets you make a photo and turn that into a reaction that you can basically attach to any of the actual messages inside the chat. iOS has a similar thing. So what you would do on iOS, if I was replying to a message, is you hold a message and then you go, add sticker. So it's a little bit like adding a sticker. It's quite cool though. Like you can go in and let's say, for example, you want to find a picture of your cat. You can find a picture of your cat and Google will turn that into a photo emoji and then you can attach that directly to a message. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I like that one. I think it looks pretty good. All right, guys, so the next one is voice mood. It's actually really good. I really like this one. I think it's probably the best one out of the 7. So essentially what you do is you record a short audio message, and instead of that just being sent as an audio message, you can add a bit more personality to it. After it's finished recording, you can swipe through a variety of different like animated emoji-based reactions, and then once you send that, people will see that in their message feed, so they can play the message and see an animated emoji happening with that message at the same time, so it's quite cool. All right, so the next one, guys, you've probably seen this in iOS, but you've probably also seen it in messages, Facebook messages. It's just a screen effect, so when you say something like, hey, let's celebrate, or hey, I love you, or whatever it is, it animates across the entire screen of the chat. So I've seen these happen inside Facebook messages. When you say congratulations to a friend, the whole screen gets taken over by an animation. Just looks really cool. That's now available inside Google Messages as well. All right, the next one is custom bubbles. So I think this is really cool. So, you know, with Facebook, how you can set a theme for the chat that you've got going? Well, you can now do that with Google Messages. So you can essentially change the bubble colors, you can change the background, and you can pick a different setup for every message that you've got. So again, kind of a borrowed idea from Facebook, but yeah, it's just definitely a welcome addition here. And then our next one is called reaction effects, and you're probably going to guess what this one is, but when you hold long press on a line of text, and instead of just going, you know, thumbs up, love, happy face, whatever, you do that, but you then get a short animation straight after that. So let's say, for example, I did thumbs up on a message. You would see like a really short little animation of thumbs up on that particular message, and then you would see the thumbs up emoji attached on the right hand side. So just adds a bit more animation to the reaction as it happens. All right, and then the other one is the animated emoji. It's a bit like a sticker. You've probably seen these in WhatsApp. If you do say like a love heart, it comes up and it's an animated love heart. I've seen these, a lot of the messaging apps have these now, but this is going to be inside the Google Messages update. And then last but not least, and I'm actually really happy that this one has arrived on Google, is a profile. So essentially you can choose your name and also the picture that you share with people. So for example, let's say you get a new colleague at work and you give them your phone number. They'll then see your name and your profile picture when you share that with them. It's actually a really smart idea. Like, we've sort of seen this rolling out with a lot of messaging apps now. I think iOS 17 rolled out a very similar thing. you can kind of essentially go in and customize what people see when you share your name and your picture with them. So yeah, lots of little updates there, guys. Definitely some welcome additions. I really like the audio one. I think that's probably my favorite out of the whole lot. But yeah, there's a short video if you want to jump on YouTube. It's called Text It Like You Talk It, and it just kind of details how this is all going to work. But yeah, let's jump in and quickly chat about the update to the Xbox app, because if you've got a mobile device, you're going to be really happy with this update. All right, guys, over the last 12 months, there's definitely been a surge of mobile gaming PCs from Asus and obviously the ROG Ally and the Steam Deck, and there's more coming out all the time. And with that, Microsoft has just released a bit of an update to the Xbox app for the PC, and they now have a new compact mode, which just basically makes things much easier to use on a mobile gaming device. So it has like a collapsible side menu, which you can minimize, and you just see icons on the left-hand side, and it just means things are much easier to navigate through your game library and touch on the game that you want to open as well. What they're hoping to do, and this makes sense, they're hoping to make this the default for mobile gaming devices moving forward, just so if you pick up one of those devices, you install the Xbox app, it's way easier and it feels more intuitive to open games on that device. I think, like, if you look at, like, say the Switch, this is typically the route they go down. They have like big icons, easy to scroll and move through, and just easy to read what's on the screen. So the update is available right now, and you can go and download it directly through the Microsoft Store, and it's available on both Windows 10 and Windows 11. Now, just before I wrap up, guys, again, this is not a podcast that's about movies, but I watched a couple of really good trailers on the weekend, and one of those is the preview for the new Halo Season 2. Whether or not you liked the first season, I personally liked it. I thought it was pretty good. It wasn't the best show in the world, but I definitely would pick up the second season and watch it. There's a trailer that's just been released from Paramount, and yeah, go and check it out. It's got a bit more, what would you say, like there's more weaponry that was from the games being showcased in this trailer. I'm not going to give away too much, but yeah, it looks really good. Go and check it out. And then the other one is there's an updated trailer for the brand new Godzilla movie. And what I think is really interesting about this is right now we've got the Monarch series, which is on Apple TV. We've got a brand new Godzilla movie, which is called -1. That has got absolutely stellar reviews. It's not here in Australia right now, which is a bit disappointing. We can't go and watch it in the cinema because it is, I think it's, might be an Asian release only or something like that, but we can't get it right now. I really want to see it, but we can't get it. So yeah, basically, yeah, there's a brand new trailer for the Godzilla movie. It looks like it directly follows on from the last one, where, if you can remember, there was like a world underneath our world, and there was lots of those creatures, lots of titans like King Kong in that underground world. It looks really cool. I thought it definitely looks like a great follow-up, so I recommend you go and check that out too. So that's pretty much it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. If you haven't had the time, go and watch a video from Mr. Who's the Boss. He does his best mobile phones for 2023. And what's interesting is there's not one winner this year, there's actually two. So I'm not going to spoil it. Go and watch it. It's a great video. I'll see you tomorrow, guys. Cheers.